Yo, 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 yo. Welcome to the Rocket City Network. Speak on it. I am your host, the mouthpiece of the Southeast, the one and only Mike Sean. Today, I got a request from one of our longtime subscribers. He showed me an article, right? The article was from WAFF in Huntsville, Alabama. It was describing a situation where land was taken from a family in the 1950s. What sits on that land today is one of the business buildings of the University of Alabama in Huntsville. Take a look at this article. Jones family wants to reclaim land where UAH building resides. And it reads, strong allegations are being leveled against the city of Huntsville. The allegations are coming from a family in Huntsville who claimed decades ago the city of Huntsville and officials systematically stole the land their family once owned. They believe a wrong done decades ago needs to be made right. During the time that we were living on the land, we weren't rich, but we had everything that we needed in life, said J.T. Jones. Local governments condemned the well that we had on the land, saying that it wasn't fit for human consumption. We had it, and then we didn't have it. And that is very painful to me, added Brenda Jones. Kamala Miller Lester is a lead researcher to Where Is My Land, a grassroots organization that helps families and descendants reclaim stolen land through advocacy. She has been working with the Jones family for a little over a year. The well was condemned around 1958. All of a sudden, there was a pump house built in the same location. The city had traced a clean water source to the area near the well. Rather than get permission to dig under the wall to tap into that source, they instead condemned the entire property and forced the family to move off of it. That's crazy, y'all. That is crazy. And there have been situations like that that we've heard about that have been documented for well over a century, right? We go on. Court documents from 1954 show the city was unable to acquire the property in well, so it proceeded with condemning it. They proceeded with condemning it for a water source. At a 1954 condemnation court hearing, multiple interested parties are present, including their father, Willie Jones. No one objected to the condemnation process. A month later, y'all get this? Read it with me. A month later, the probate court awards damages and compensation of $900 for the property in well to be split among Willie Jones and his siblings. $900 funky dollars. Willie Jones later appealed that ruling. However, the well is condemned anyway. This is sad. This is sad. It goes on to read. Get this right. Y'all watching this? UAH provided documents where it appears to show in 1958, Willie Jones and his wife Lola signed the deed over to their land to W.L. Sanderson, at the time the chief of the Huntsville Land Acquisition Office. Keep going. Hey, what does DJ Khaled said? Keep going. Miller Lester and the Jones siblings say the documents were forged because Willie Jones could not read or write. Years prior, in court records, Willie Jones signed his name with an X and had a witness present. The Jones siblings even hired a forensic handwriting expert who determined the signatures were not genuine. He didn't know with his third grade education what was going on, said Michael Jones. Eventually, The sum of $25,000 is awarded, with claimants receiving their cut of $1,250 funky dollars. However, Willie Jones never received his payout. This is terrible, y'all. This is terrible. This is terrible. This reminds me of the situation in California. Just last year, Where's My Land was instrumental in the landmark ruling returning Bruce Beach to its descendants in California for $20 million. It was an oceanfront property that was seized by the city in the 1920s. You guys have to realize that in both these situations, you look at the 1920s. The 1920s was plagued with race riots in the US. One of the darkest decades in our nation's history. One of the darkest. You had situations where former Black soldiers who had served in World War I came home decorated and retreated less than cattle. There were lynchings at that time. And these soldiers, they were actually lynched in their uniforms. This is true. I am not making this stuff up, right? That was what was going on during the 1920s when Bruce's Beach was being stolen from that family. And they gave them $20 million. Now, I'm pretty sure whoever stole that land, passed it on down, they made a lot more than $20 million over the course of the past 100 years. And then you look at the situation here in Huntsville, right? The 1950s, Huntsville, Alabama, home of Jim Crow. Alabama, home to Bull Connor. You have this situation happen. And there were other situations. I mean, you look out there, I believe it's some place in Gunnersville, some properties there where we're seized, Smith Lake, I believe. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. A lot of Black folks settled out there, lost their land. So you have Mr. Willie Jones, a man who cannot read or write, signs his name with an X. His documentation is forged. Forged, y'all. It is forged. His family receives nothing. Now sits one of the UAH business buildings. It's terrible. And you know what? I hope this Jones family gets every penny they deserve. I hope every family that has had to go through this, go through a situation where their land was seized by their relatives, by their great-grandfathers, their grandparents. They deserve everything, because you're talking about a situation where you're taking away generational wealth. Generational wealth. Now, there are a lot of people out there that are against reparations. I understand. I understand that. But this right here is not right. It is not right. And I hope they get more than 4,000 signatures. I'm going to sign that. And I hope that some of my subscribers and viewers who live in the Huntsville area, they get the opportunity, to sign that petition. It's just so hard. It's just so, you can't even describe it, how stuff was just stolen from those who had, they didn't believe that they had a fair shake with the court systems, with any of the politicians, with nobody. Can you imagine You live in a country and you feel like there is nobody there to protect you if somebody steals from you, let alone commits violence or harms you and your family. Could you imagine living in a world like that? Could you imagine that your son, your daughter is taken from you in the night over false allegations? Like I said before, I hope that the Jones family, the Descendants, Willie Jones Jr., I hope they get every penny they deserve, which should be more than 900 funky dollars. Well, there you have it, folks. The Rocket City Network. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and we are out.